For humans to exist the way we do today, there has long been the all-important process of pregnancy and birth. Thus, in terms of preserving the race, this carries an important meaning to us. However, due to environmental pollution, such as air pollution, women's late marriage and pregnancy, and continuous work, several problems have arisen concerning fertility. If this is the case, how does Korean traditional medicine go about resolving such problems? A Korean traditional medicine clinic in Seoul, specializing in sterility. 35-year-old Mrs. Lee had a great concern, since she could not gain pregnancy even after 4 years of marriage. Over the years, she had attempted 4 artificial inseminations and 1 test tube baby.
관할, 척삭 이렇게 얘기를 하는데 지금 아주 전형적인 임신맥이 나오고 있네. 여기
Having succeeded in pregnancy, Mrs. Lee has been taking the treatment for 18 weeks now, and she was finally able to be relieved. As she was most concerned due to her late marriage, and since she couldn't have a baby just yet. So how does Mrs. Lee feel about treating sterility in Korean traditional medicine?
진료를 받아보니까 제가 손발이 차고 아랫배가 차기 때문에 임신하기가 어렵다는 말씀을 들었거든요. 근데 그 원인이 혈액순환이 잘 안 돼서 그렇다고 말씀을 하시더라고요. 근데 한방이 좋았던 점은 제 몸 상태를 세밀히 고려해서 처방이 나온다는 거 하고 그리고 불임의 원인을 근본적으로 치료해 준다는 것. 그래서 제 건강 상태를 호전시켜서 자연 임신이 되도록 도와준다는 점이 제일 많이 끌렸던 것 같아요.
Recently, out of all diseases in obstetrics, sterility is being noted as the most serious. In the year 2000, according to Korea Institute for Health and Social Affairs, out of 6,393 women between the ages of 15 and 44 who are able to get pregnant, though experienced sterility comprised up to 23.2%, as compared to 10% in 1995. That is, it has increased to double within 5 years.
불임이라면은 결혼한 부부가 1년 동안 피임을 하지 않았는데도 임신이 안 될 경우 그것을 불임이라고 하고 이미 한 번 아기를 가졌는데 2년 동안 아무 이유 없이 또 아기가 안 생길 때 그것도 역시 불임 영역에 속합니다. 현대에 있어서 불임의 원인을 짚어보면 결혼이 많이 늦어지기 때문에 모체의 고령화가 원인일 수 있겠고요. 그다음에 심각한 환경 오염이라든가 전자파, 스트레스 이런 것이 배란 장애를 많이 유발하게 되죠. 또한 문란한 성생활들이 성기 감염을 일으켜서 나팔관의 폐쇄 같은 현상을 갖고 오게 되니까 또 불임을 초래할 수 있습니다.
Generally, the problem is found to be due to the uterus, reproductive organs, and also hormones. Thus, if the cause is not found from these organs, finding a cure will be hard. However, this is not the case for Korean traditional medicine. That is, it focuses on the balance of all organs in our body and making sure that the flow of vital energy is flowing regularly. Recently, there was an essay based on the relationship between sterility and the brain from Korean traditional medicine. It particularly showed that early loss of menstruation is becoming a major cause of sterility. While we regard this due to occur in the 40s in general, it is shocking to acknowledge that it is even occurring in the 20s to 30s. In this case, Korean traditional medicine states that this is because the balance between a pituitary gland and ovary hormone has broken down, thus emphasizes its treatment on the brain.
생식 기능의 중추가 뇌에 있어요. 시상하부, 뇌하수체가 생식 기능의 중추인데 거기서 암만 호르몬이 나온다 하더라도 난소에서 기능이 정지되어 있는 상태면 생리가 안 나오거든요. 그것을 우리가 조기 폐경이라고 하고 수치적으로 표현을 하면은 뇌하수체에서 나오는 호르몬이 FSH 수치가 보통 10위까지를 정상 범위로 보는데 10위를 많이 넘어선 경우를 조기 폐경이라고 정의를 하고 있죠. 그래서 조기 폐경은 뇌하고 굉장히 밀접한 관계가 있는 것으로 보고 있는데 한방에서는 뇌의 기가 부족해서 암만 호르몬이 나와도 난소를 자극할 힘이 모자란 것으로 판단을 하는 거죠. 그래서 뇌의 기를 보충해주기 위한 약물요법이라든가 기혈 순환을 돕는 추나법이라든가 턱 교정을 통해서 치료를 하고 있습니다.
As there are a variety of reasons to the causes of sterility, finding out the exact cause will be the first step. As well as checking the pulse, a palgang test is also carried out. This analysis of the current overall body status is one of the basic methods. We could see ourselves the imbalance of organs and a fall in the internal functions by checking the response when the body was harmed through a soft stimulation. In the case of sterility patients, the response surrounding the brain is low, while it is normal below the abdomen. This indicates a break of the balance in the whole body, hence an irregular flow of the vital energy. It has been found that a large number of women feel cold, which has a bad effect on fertility. This can be examined by a body heat test. The cold feeling is judged by the color showing in the photo for the body heat test. Green and yellow indicate normal, red indicates an excess heat, and blue a low heat. According to the body heat test, it is considered normal if the heat spread of the body forms a balance of right and left, and spreads evenly up and down. For sterility patients, there is a heat difference of right and left, and there tends to be cold below the body, including the uterus. A blood test is also one essential sterility test. Blood analysis is done by withdrawing blood from the end of a finger and observing it through a special microscope. It could also predict the treatment result and the seriousness of the disease. The special feature of a healthy blood is that it is round and the distance between is the same. However, sterility patients' blood shape tends to be irregular or contain waste extracts inside the blood. So if various methods are used to find the cause, then in what way is sterility treated? The most favored method is acupuncture, especially applying it to the ear. The acupuncture points which can stimulate each organ are gathered in the ear. So it is even called an assembly place for all acupuncture points. Acupuncture is applied to the ear once the oval, reproduction function, and acupuncture points of the ovary are found. A general acupuncture is also applied simultaneously. Firstly, acupuncture is applied on the uterus directly, and also on a spot located 3 fingers below the stomach. Applying acupuncture here can affect the reproduction of urination. Taking the ankle bones inward, heading upwards, there is a point called samungyo, 3 fingers above the ankle. By applying acupuncture here, women's reproduction function can be stimulated. There is also a therapy of point injection, which is commonly used at the same time for a medicine effect. Acupuncture is applied to the spots done in general acupuncture and also applied to the back in order to regulate the flow of vital energy. Acupuncture applied to the back of the head will clear the brain, and it is also effective in enhancing the spread of hormones. Chuna therapy gives treatment by pulling and pushing bones and muscles. This method is not only applied just for sinew and bone diseases. Korean traditional treatment regards the cause of fertility as a result of irregular flow of vital energy throughout the entire body, where it may be twisted inside the body somewhere, or if it is abnormal, it could seriously affect the flow of vital energy. Recently, it has even been found that an articulated chin can also be the case of sterility. Therefore, the joint is corrected using tuna therapy and treats sterility that is caused by headaches, spreading of reproduction hormones. There is a treatment which adds supplements to the body's insufficiencies. Each end of the magnet is stimulated every 60 seconds, using strong change in the magnetic field, which can enhance the blood flow. This treatment enhances a regular flow of blood and regeneration. It is also effective in regulating the flow of vital energy.
한방 불임 치료의 장점은 불임 치료를 생식기인 자궁과 난소에 국한하지 않고 오장육부 전체의 기혈 균형을 살펴서 불균형을 도와주고 기가 부족할 때는 기를 보충해줌으로써 일시적이 아닌 근본적인 치료를 해준다는 데 특징이 있고요. 그러니까 산모를 건강하게 하니까 그때 태어나게 되는 아기도 역시 아주 건강한 아기를 가질 수 있는 것이 한방의 특징입니다.
Does the nature of motherhood start from delivering babies and protect women from this? During this period, the health care for the mother is not just for the mother, but also for the baby. Since mothers cannot take medication easily, they must take extra care. Nonetheless, there doesn't seem to be any solution to this vomiting of pregnancy. It is found that 70% of pregnant women experience this, where they lose appetite or feel nauseous and throw up when they eat. Vomiting during pregnancy may occur due to abnormal changes of hormones and a change, renewal, or a drop of stomach movement, as well as other excess intake of salt or water due to pregnancy. Other causes may be lack of vitamins and proteins, stress, or an internal distribution disorder and a problem with placental blood. Korean traditional medicine has a different view of the cause of vomiting during pregnancy. That is, it states that it occurs as a result of a triangular disorder of the uterus, liver, and stomach. When pregnant, menstruation stops, causing the vital energy to arise and stimulating the stomach, followed by vomiting.
임신 중에 산모들을 불편하게 만들 수 있는 증상 중에 가장 대표적인 것이 입덧이라고 할 수가 있는데요. 이 입덧이라고 하는 것은 원래 임신 중에 생리적인 현상입니다. 하지만 이 생리적인 현상 자체가 심해지거나 했을 때는 임신 오조증 해가지고 우리가 질병으로 해서 우리가 분류를 하게 돼 있습니다. 이 임신 오조증이 생겼을 경우에 임신 10주 정도까지는 우리 태아가 기관들이라든지 장기가 형성되고 있는 시기이다 보니까 어떤 약물이라든지 또는 음식물 또 환경 호르몬 이런 영향들로 인해 가지고 아주 위험한 시기가 될 수가 있겠죠. 따라서 임신 10주 정도까지는 우리가 태아에게 영향을 미칠 수 있지 않게끔 하기 위해서 저희가 귀에다 침을 놓는 그런 방법을 사용을 하고 있습니다.
Ears are the first organ of sense, through dissolution of cells as the eggs fertilize. They play that much of an important role. Korean medicine, therefore, uses them to apply acupuncture, since all acupuncture points are gathered here. There are various treatment methods using the acupuncture points in the ear. One is applying it directly. Others include applying magnets, a bloodletting method, and massage. The advantage of ear acupuncture therapy is that it has no side effects. Up to 10 weeks of pregnancy, medication and acupuncture cannot be applied, as it is an important period for the formation of bronchus and organs of the embryo. However, since ear acupuncture therapy does not have any side effects, it is used during pregnancy. When the vomiting is severe, it can be applied twice a week for 3 weeks to the points that are related to the stomach function and internal distribution. After 10 weeks of pregnancy, medical treatment can be applied since the formation of the embryo has been completed. Though pain relief medication still cannot be taken, since they could have negative effects on the embryo. To relieve the vomiting symptoms, the herbal medication relieves liver function and controls stomach function at the same time. A newborn baby is the starting line of hospitality for life. For women, while birth brings a distinctive change in the body, it is a period where they need to pay extra caution, as they did during pregnancy. In Korea, people have emphasized the importance of birth and recuperation after it, even from the time of their ancestors. When there is a new baby, people put a string on doors that indicates restricted entrance. The line is made of straw, and coal and fresh pine twigs are woven into it. The string on the door is to inform the world of the new baby and includes a message to avoid visiting to prevent contaminating the baby and the mother. The string is left on the door for 21 days. Even today in Korea, Koreans place a great deal of importance on the recuperation of mothers after birth. The process of pregnancy and birth does not end after the delivery. It is extended for women's bodies to recover to their previous pre-pregnancy status. Generally, the recuperation period ranges from 3 to 6 months, or up to 1 year, concentrating on the first 21 days, as was done in the past.
임신 중의 모체는 임신 유지를 위해서 변화하고 출산할 때 산모는 자궁의 문이 열리는 것은 물론 골반의 구조가 변하고 뼈마디 하나하나까지 호르몬의 영향으로 늘어나게 됩니다. 이처럼 임신과 출산으로 인해서 변화된 몸이 원래의 상태로 돌아가는 데 걸리는 시간이 산후 6주에서 8주 정도 걸리게 되고 이 시기에 충분한 휴식과 영양이 공급되지 않으면 산모는 평생 출산 후유증에 시달리게 됩니다. 한의학에서는 그래서 한약을 이 시기부터 복용하게 되는데 먼저 어혈 풀어준 약을 복용하시고 후에 기혈을 보하고 산후풍을 예방할 수 있는 약을 드시게 됩니다.
When the body and soul have become weak from birth, Korean traditional medicine treats this step by step. The base of the recuperation is prepared by relieving blood stagnation, thus regulating the blood flow directly after the delivery. When pains have been removed after some time, treatment is given to recoup the vital energy by giving supplements. Once this is done, treatment is given to regulate the renewal function in order to return the body to its state before birth. There may be long-term pain if women do not receive proper post-birth recuperation care. This is especially serious if the mother gets cold air or becomes overactive, since this will result in higher chances of suffering from neuralgia, osteoporosis, arthritis, and early aging of skin and bones. For instance, there may be a burden on the mother's arm and wrist when holding the baby when breastfeeding. This can be recouped by applying acupuncture just very lightly. Before relying on acupuncture and medication during the recuperation period, nutritional food is the first thing to follow. In Korea, people usually follow the traditional method of taking seaweed soup. Seaweed contains a large amount of calcium, hence it can supplement the loss of calcium from birth. The body shall also be able to return to normal by taking a balance of the nutritional food. On the other hand, the recuperation will be delayed if you just lie around in bed. Therefore, exercising will be of great help to return to the previous pre-pregnancy state. Nevertheless, exercising excessively should be avoided, since the body is under a weak status from birth. Thus, simple exercises will be good to relieve and rejuvenate the body. Exercising is also effective in preventing obesity due to birth. The recuperation after birth is so important that it can even decide the health status of women in their future. Korean traditional medicine places all attention on enabling pregnancy by balancing up women's bodies and focusing on maintaining a perfect status of healthcare before, during, and after giving birth. The vomiting, which causes a lot of trouble during the early stages of pregnancy. There is an herbal tea which helps to reduce this suffering without harming mothers or embryos. Orange, which is one of the most common fruits in winter. The peel is washed carefully and chopped before drying it in the shade. When making tea with this dried peel, firstly boil it in hot water, then reduce the heat moderately to boil it further until the tea turns yellow. Depending on your taste, it is also good to drink with some sugar. Dried orange peel tea enables the flow of the vital energy, as well as the spleen and lung. It also helps to calm nausea and from coughing when you have a fever or when you're thirsty. Omicha, which is the dried ripe fruit of Schisandra, has 5 various tastes of sweet, bitter, sour, salty, and spicy. Firstly, wash it carefully and boil it under a low heat for 1 to 2 hours. 1 sip leaves a strong sour taste. This helps to bring up saliva, which then helps to pick up the appetite, and as it supplies oxygen, it reduces vomiting during pregnancy. The quince tea is especially popular during winter. It is known for its great scent and to be good for a harsh cough. When making the tea, add 2 cups of water for each 15 grams of quince, then boil it until the water reduces by half. This tea is good for stomach function and enhances vitality, especially since it doesn't contain any poison. It will not harm pregnant women or embryos at all. Ginger is one of the main seasoning substances in Korean food. Ginger tea can easily be made by storing it in sugar in general. Simply boil the soaked ginger as it is, in the water. When using ginger in general, slice it thinly and boil it in the water until it turns yellow. Ginger is effective when the body has cold energy, and also for calming nausea during pregnancy, as well as car sickness. It enhances the renewal function as well as the appetite. The tea will play a substantial part in looking after your health, other than just for its good taste. We should especially note that pregnant women should watch what they eat and drink carefully, only drinking teas that will not harm the embryo.